Well, I'll tell you, the closer we get to the season, the more barn derangement syndrome appears to be running rampant. What does that mean? He's Zach Blackerby. I'm Brad Law. It's a brand new Village Vice. Zach, I'm telling you what, there are a whole lot of people who are more concerned with Auburn than they are their own team as we sit exactly 3 weeks away from kickoff between Auburn and Baylor. Can I give you the latest example?
Please go ahead. Barn
All right.
derangement syndrome Friday.
Yeah, BDS Friday. You got it. And there's a ton. So a couple of years ago, when basketball rankings would come out in the top 25, when I thought, because I saw them, that Auburn had a better team than projected, I kind of started this thing on X where I would quote tweet the rankings, and I would go, let's say Auburn was ranked 20th. I'd say there aren't 19 teams in the country better than Auburn.
Okay.
And then the next week, maybe they're ranked 14th. And I go, I got to tell you, there's not 13 teams in the country better than Auburn. It was kind of a running thing. I've not done it for football until now. ESPN put out their SEC power rankings. They have Auburn 12th. I don't care about ESPN's power rankings. Like, they're power rankings. They don't mean, they're like the coaches' poll. They're like preseason polls. They don't mean anything.
Okay.
So I posted and said, there aren't 11 teams in the SEC better than Auburn. And to this point, almost 150 people have decided to comment in some shape, form, or fashion. Now, like 80% of them are all saying the same thing. They're not very original. They're not very clever. They're like, yeah, it's actually 14 teams. It's something like
Nice.
that. But I think it's curious that many, and of course, most of them are Alabama people. Alabama's ranked 3rd in these power rankings.
Okay.
I think that's too high too, but that's not I'm commenting on Auburn.
Okay.
Because that's the team that I follow, and that's why we have this show and so on and so forth. Why do you think people just so enthusiastically hurry to make comments when I just simply pointed out, I don't think there's 11 teams in the SEC better than Auburn?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think you see too many fan bases that are so interested in other fan bases' affairs than what Alabama does. I posted, we answered a question for the mailbag, and I screenshotted it, a question from the barn. I put it on a picture of Brian Harsin, the question that we debated very briefly of like, would you give up the kick six to have never hired Brian Harsin or whatever, which is clearly just a fun question. Like, it's not that serious. And it's one of the more viral things. Like, I haven't checked it in a few hours, but like this morning, I had over 100,000 views on it.
Yeah.
And it's all Bama folks. It's all Bama folks saying like, you know, because of course they're on the other side of the kick six. But yeah, I don't like, clearly that question's not for you, you know, like clearly. So yeah, I don't know what it is. It is super interesting.
And I get that whenever you make any post, it's public and anybody's welcome to comment. It's just it's weird to me and strange that so many non-Auburn people, it's as if what they're trying to do, Zach, is like keep you from showing enthusiasm for your team. It's as if Auburn fans ought to walk around with this attitude that, all right, I hadn't had a winning season the last 4 years.
Oh, we're gatekeeping excitement.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yes, that's perfect. They are the gatekeepers of excitement. So I know what Auburn's record is the last 4 years. I know what Auburn's record in rivalry games has been the last 5 years or 7 or 9 or whichever one you want to look at. All right, I get it. Has nothing to do with this year's roster or this year's schedule. Has zero to do with it. Aggregate recruiting rankings, by the way, over the last 4 years have Auburn with the 7th best aggregate recruiting classes in the country among SEC teams. That's top half, just for reference. And, of course, Auburn brought in the number 1 offensive lineman from the portal. They brought in the number 1 wide receiver from the portal. They brought in a quarterback who was a top 3 player nationally coming out of high school. And because he played in a bad system with no receivers and a patchwork offensive line, people now think that he can't perform at the level that earned him a top 3 ranking nationally coming out of high school. So, yet to me, it's just strange that people want to gatekeep enthusiasm the way they do.
Sure. Yeah. Once again, it's just, I don't know. It's just not how I'm wired. I don't know. And a lot of these Bama fans, like, they probably follow you. A lot of them follow me. They're just like bashing everything. I'm like, well,
yeah,
I don't know. Like, I just don't follow people and want them on my timeline if it's something that I just like vehemently don't want to see or disagree with. But it's like you're choosing to see more of it, or you wouldn't follow Auburn content creators. So it's interesting. It's just a different type of mindset, I guess. I don't know.
And they're coming here too. They will. They'll be in the comments on this video too. I look forward to reading every one of them and smiling and laughing and scratching my head a little bit because it's a little strange. You know how many times I've commented, Zach, when let's say an Alabama fan or a Georgia fan or any other Tennessee or what have you comments on their power rankings? Zero times. Wouldn't think to do it.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay. They're giving their opinion on somebody else's opinion. Whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. Moving on.
Right. Great. And I figured their own fan base will engage with it and, maybe they'll comment too or whatever. But I wouldn't because not my team.
Yeah. Whatever.
Their team.
Sometimes you see something and you say, oh, that's not for me.
Their team. In other words, their team isn't on my mind.
Oh.
I think Auburn is on a lot of people's minds when maybe it hasn't been the last couple of years.
You might be onto something, Brad Law.
Maybe.
You might be onto something.
I got something on to me. You know what it is? Rowback.
Ooh, you're sporting the rowback. You can get some of that as well by heading to rowback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use promo code BICE20 to get 20% off your order today. What's next, Bradlaw?
All right. Who is Baylor? I think it's important to identify how good we think Baylor is because that determines how we talk about this first game. What we can't do is say, hey, Baylor's a really quality team, and we think they've got, maybe they're among the best 2 or 3 teams in the Big 12. And then Auburn goes and wins in Waco, and then we're like, well, I'm not going to get excited until I see them do it against Oklahoma. Well, I'm not going to get excited until I see them do it. We're not going to play that game.
Okay.
Let's declare who Baylor is, and then that will determine how we feel about them in the opener exactly 3 weeks away. Is that fair?
Yeah. I think if Auburn goes on at this point, I think Baylor's a good football team. I think they're going to be competitive in the Big 12, which means you have a shot to make the CFP. Like, I think that's where Baylor is. I think they're a top 4 team in the Big 12. That conference has so much parity. They have a legit shot to win it. And they can achieve those goals even if they lose to Auburn in Waco the Friday night and start the season. So I think they're a good team. And if Auburn goes to Waco and wins, I feel so much better about the season. I think it answers a ton of questions because like Hugh Freeze hasn't really won a game where there's been pressure yet. It kind of felt like, the A&M game was big last year, but I wouldn't say that there was pressure on that game. There were pressure in moments within the game.
Yeah.
But the season had kind of been mailed in, and then it kind of, reignited some energy. It's like, oh, okay, maybe you got a shot against Alabama or whatever. But I don't know if he's really won a game where there's been pressure yet because he hasn't beaten Georgia yet, hasn't beaten Alabama yet. I think this will be the first one where he wins where there's pressure. And I think to me, that tells me something very, very important.
Yeah, it's the first time Auburn's opened in a true road game in how long? When was the last time Auburn opened with a true road game? I should have looked this up before we recorded. I didn't think we were going to.
Clemson? Did we open the season against Clemson, or we play somebody before them?
Played Georgia Southern before them in 17.
Okay.
I'm going back. I don't know the last time Auburn played a true road game. Now, they had neutral site games in Arlington against Oregon and in Atlanta against Washington.
Yeah. Louisville was neutral in 15.
Yep. 14 was Arkansas. 13 was a home game.
Yeah, Washington State.
12 and 11 were home. 10 was home.
12 was neutral against Clemson.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
11 was home against Utah State. You keep going. I'm going to look this up. You keep going.
We've gone a long time. Should Baylor have been a preseason top 25 team? They won 6 straight regular season games. All but one.
This is where it gets tricky because, like, we've all just kind of accepted and agreed which preseason polls matter, which ones don't, and which people's opinions matter, which ones don't.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think somebody who knows college football better than anyone, like Phil Steele, loves Baylor.
Yeah.
Now, he overemphasizes returning production, and Baylor has a lot of guys coming back.
Yeah.
But, like, I think he has them at, like, I think 13th. I don't have his magazine near me, but, like, he's very high on them. And, like, I think that matters.
Yeah.
I almost think that matters more than the coaches poll, if I'm being 100% honest with you.
Florida and Baylor had similar ends to their seasons. The difference was Florida.
Was it 2002? Was it going to USC? Was that the last time Auburn opened with a true road game? I think it is.
I think it is, Zach. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
02?
Yeah, 2002. It's been 23 years.
That's amazing. Assuming that's correct. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Who are we overlooking? I don't think we're overlooking anybody. Yeah. 2000.
I just went year by year. Yeah. Unless I've just missed it. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, like, the perception of Baylor, it does vary on who you talk to.
Yep.
But they have the making of all of the team, like, of what you want in, like, kind of a sleeper team that might be, like, you know, early 20s, late teens and rankings. They've got a good quarterback.
Yeah.
That looked really good, especially towards the end of last season. They're returning a lot of production. They've got stars that they believe in, and with their running back and their receivers. And they ended the season hot last year. What, their last 8 games?
Well, they won their last 6 regular season games.
Yeah, and then they got whooped by LSU in the bowl game or whatever. Yeah. But I don't know if I care about that or not. But
well, no, we shouldn't. Bowl games that are not playoff games don't matter. The only difference between their final half of the season and Florida's second half of the season is Florida beat LSU in a regular season game that counts. Baylor lost to LSU in a bowl game that doesn't count for much. So if Baylor were in the SEC and Florida was in the Big 12, would Baylor open this season ranked in the coaches' top 25?
No.
I think they would. I think Florida's ranked in the top 25.
I think it's star power, though. Like, I think Florida's ranked because of DJ Lagway. And I'm not saying Sawyer Robertson's bad. I'm just saying he doesn't have star power like DJ Lagway does. Okay. But we do this every offseason where, like, we choose some quarterbacks that we, like, are saying, like, yes, these guys are hype worthy, and other guys who aren't. I think Sawyer Robertson's certainly hype worthy, but he just hadn't gotten it. He got it in pockets throughout the offseason where, you know, some people rank their top 10 returning quarterbacks or whatever. And he was high on some of them, but then, like, it just went away. It just disappeared. And now it's all about Lenora Sellers and DJ Lagway and Arch Manning and Garrett Nussmeier and Cade Klubnik. And, like, I'm not saying that Sawyer Robertson is as good as them.
Yeah.
But I do think, like, you got to stop and ask a question of, like, should he be getting more praise than he currently is? And I think the answer to that is yes.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that Auburn went from a favorite against Baylor, getting back to sort of trying to identify who do we think Baylor is before the game's played. Auburn went from a favorite to an underdog, and that line has changed again just this week, Zach. Auburn is now a favorite again over Baylor.
Yeah, and I don't know what to make of that because a lot of that seemed to just be FanDuel. Like, you saw more movement with FanDuel, which is a book I have a relationship with.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, did they just have one big bet on FanDuel and FanDuel was the only one to move it. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
But it's close. It's close everywhere, and it's going to stay close until game time.
Yeah.
Which means really the margin for error in that game is a play here, a play there, like 2-3 plays. When you have a line that's close. So again, if Auburn goes and wins on the road by 3, are people going to be upset about that? Are people going to be happy with a win no matter what? If Auburn goes and looks good and puts up a fight and say loses by 3, 27-24 in a game that's a 2-3 point line, are we going to say that Baylor's not that
we're
good?
Past the point of eye test. Either win or don't.
Yeah. Okay.
Either win or don't. That's where I'm at. Beat Baylor by 1, lose by 1, and look great. I think everyone would take beat Baylor and look awful.
Yeah.
Over look really good and lose.
Well, sure. Yes, I agree with that. Yeah, I can't think of a scenario where you wouldn't take that.
Yeah, unless like an injury was in there or something, maybe. But you can't do that.
Right. So, all right. I just kind of want to, I do think it's important to get on, like, whatever it may be, and everybody watching may have a different opinion about Baylor, but define who we think Baylor is before we gauge how we feel after the game. You know what I mean? Like, either you think Baylor's not a good team at all, and that colors how you watch the game, or you think Baylor is probably an underrated team right now, and that colors how you watch the game. So either way, we're only 3 weeks away. How exciting is that? Thank goodness.
Oh, it feels good. Thanks for asking.
And when some of you watch this, it'll be just 20 days away. So
sure.
Have you?
No, I got a feeling it'll be late Friday night, and a lot of Bama folks will turn it on. So
no question.
That's how they want to spend their Friday evening.
Well,
because I'm thankful for.
I got a great line right now. We're going to use discretion and keep that to ourselves.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
good for you.
I'm growing.
All right.
Have you watched the Netflix SEC special? Have you watched any of it?
So I tried. And I went to the episode that was Auburn heavy, and I watched most of it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to start it from the beginning because it is kind of built. I thought it was going to be like isolated school by school, and it's like, no, they're telling a story here.
Right.
It's just, it's too far away. It's too far removed. They're telling the story of last season.
Mm-hmm.
They should have dropped this 4 months ago. I'm like, I just don't care. I just don't care.
Yeah. No, I had to remind myself that it's not for avid SEC football fans. They're doing, like, the F1 thing was so popular as content because it's kind of a niche sport. Not the global masses aren't tuning into F1. So you got an inside look at something most people didn't know about. If you're watching this as an avid SEC fan, you're not getting anything that you wouldn't get in your school's like content team.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Like, if it's not for the like hardcore SEC fan, who's it for?
The people who aren't hardcore, to try to bring them in.
People aren't going to watch that.
Well, but that's their aim, I think.
They waited too long. I think they waited too long.
No, I don't disagree with you. There's nothing in the Auburn piece that you don't get, like, from War Eagle Plus or the Auburn Video, the creative team.
Yeah.
So I also think, by the way, it's way too LSU heavy. I'm 5 episodes in. 3 of the 5 have been about Nussmeier and whether or not.
So I skipped to the Auburn heavy one. And the first half of it's them, and they're building up the matchup with Alabama, and I'm like, they lose that game.
Yeah, and everybody knows it. That follows SEC football.
Yeah, and then they got was it Andy Staples on there like hyping up that game, and I'm like, what question did they prompt him to talk about this like that? Like, it was, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be able to watch it.
Yeah, some of this was strange too. The one thing that really stood out was Andy Staples, and I like Andy Staples. I think he does a really good job. But he's talking about Auburn, and his point was when Auburn's good, it's really good. I mean, they,
Saw that.
undefeated. He goes, they went undefeated in 2014.
Oh, interesting.
What? No, I didn't. They didn't go undefeated in 2013 either.
I wish they would have. That would have been awesome.
Sure. No, it would have been even better if they had gone undefeated in 2014. Yeah, and I thought, oh, they left that in. That's interesting that they chose to leave that.
I heard him say that. I didn't catch that though. That's interesting.
Yeah.
The clip of Freeze, like, and if you're an Auburn person, you've already seen the clip of him, talking about Eugene Asante's quote and all that. But I don't know. Like, and it's cool that they got a little interview like with Freeze and got him to talk for a second. But then, like, you asked, so then they like interview Peyton.
Yeah.
Peyton Thorne. And it like took me a second to recalibrate, like, oh my gosh, that was just last year.
Yeah.
With the Peyton Thorne, like, we haven't played a game in a while with Peyton not at quarterback. Like, okay, all right. And he's talking about how like he's devoted his life to football. And I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. I felt sadness for him.
Yeah.
Because like he's done. He might still be with the Bengals. I'm not sure, but like, I don't know. I felt a weird feeling watching that. And it's great that they hyped up the A&M matchup and all that. Like, that's good. That's good for Auburn. That's Hugh Freeze's biggest win as an Auburn head coach. But I don't know, man. I felt super weird watching that part.
It was, you know what? So what triggered this discussion was the fact that you mentioned that Auburn hadn't really played a game with a whole lot of pressure in a while. And like, well, not according to that Netflix special, because they built it up.
Do you feel like there was pressure in that A&M game last year going into it?
I don't remember. When you're in it, you don't remember. It's 1 week to the next.
I mean, the season had just been axed by that point.
I don't remember pressure. I remember thinking Auburn can win the game, and it would be a great way to like end the home schedule. And you're still bowl eligible. So if you win the last two, you go to a bowl and so on. But I don't remember pressure. That's a little of that TV magic, I think. Create conflict.
Yeah, and like revisionist history, and you can kind of build up whatever games you need to for your narrative, which is fine. I mean, if you want to, they wanted to give all of the SEC schools some love in it, which I have no issue with. It's a story about the SEC, and that was Auburn's high point last year. It's totally fine. Also love that it was A&M's low point, and that got an exclamation mark next to it. But yeah, I don't know, dude. I had a hard time starting it over and watching it. And I'm like, I don't care about this anymore.
Can I tell you the only thing that may get me to turn it on? If it's all the LSU it's just too much. Like, do a separate show for LSU. That's great if you want to do that.
And it's just like Brian Kelly, man. Like, I can only handle so much.
Candidly,
there's so many great personalities in the SEC as coaches. So many.
Right.
Maybe more than there ever has been.
Billy Napier is so likable, I thought, in their episode. You come away with more respect for him.
Yeah. I mean, I like a lot of the SEC head coaches right now.
Yeah.
And like Brian Kelly is probably like bottom 3 as far as like either not likable or boring.
Yeah. Yeah. I tend to lean toward the former too, rather than the latter. Whit Weeks, my last comment on all the LSU content.
Okay.
Whit Weeks' voice. Can we talk about this? Whit Weeks sounds
who is
like
Whit Weeks? I'm so sorry.
He's the linebacker for LSU.
Okay.
He's got the long hair, the mustache, and he's the guy. He's the guy whose voice sounds like if Matthew McConaughey tried to do an impression of Matthew McConaughey. It's like the most unnatural sounding Southern voice I've ever heard.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I saw any of him being interviewed. And if I did, it just didn't stick with me.
It's because of how weird I am, Zach. It's the first thing I noticed. Like literally the first line he spoke, I went, oh, this is a thing. This is going to be like a reverse earworm the entire way.
I got to go find it now.
Go
Okay.
find it and just listen to it. You go, I don't know that I want to hear much more of this.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
I got to go. That does it for today's show.
Thanks, everybody, for watching. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and looking forward to those comments. Remember, until next time, everyone has vices. Make sure Village Vice is one of yours.